Welcome to part 5 of the Shelby GT500. Um, in this tutorial, we're going to create this side section here because I need some reference points to get from these one to continue with some of the parts here. And also we're going to create this surface here down here because this surface has a bigger bigger angle. um, less of an angle than this surface here. So what I mean is that a lower section which is angles in a little bit more than the other section which is more level with the edge of the vehicle. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna jump over with the second display state. And if you have been following the tutorial step by step, and then you got to this part from tutorial 4, I think I made a little mistake here. The two surfaces bleeds together, as you can see here. So we're gonna fix that by we're going to click on this surface here, and then our control line is this one here. I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna say edit the sketch. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press space over here, jump to the top, and because it drafts the angle drafts too straight this way, that creates a bleed here. So what I'm gonna do, actually I'm gonna add that draft towards a little bit this way, and then we're gonna have a look. So much better. Our bleed is completely gone. So what also I want to do is want to take off some of the 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 line is creating too much of a curvature towards the Y direction. So I want to take some of that off as well. So I'm gonna click black on this line, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this line here and bring it down a little bit towards here, and we're gonna have a look. All right, so that's a lot cleaner design now than before. And if you look into the front, yeah, it's actually pretty good, not too bad. All right. So to create the next surface, which is going to be this surface here. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my second display state, and I already showed you how to create a second display state, so you probably already know that. But if you don't, you can just go on YouTube and say how to create a second display state. It's a very easy tutorial. So let's go into sketch here and grab a 3D sketch, and then we're going to convert this edge and this edge, and then we're going to oh, not that one. Okay, so let's grab a 3D sketch. We already, are we not? No. Let's grab a 3D sketch and then convert on these, and then we select this edge and this edge, just these two, and press OK. Once done that, I'm going to once we have these two lines converted, we're gonna exit the sketch, and then we're gonna start a brand new 3D sketch, which is going to be a spline. And I'm going to click on this line here, and I want to make sure I'm not clicking on the edge. I'm just gonna pull it out to here, press escape on the keyboard. Okay, and I'm just gonna jump into the top here real quickly, and I want to make sure I somewhat follow this angle here but not that much. And just pull it a little bit closer, somewhere on there. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of curvature towards this end here. And I'm just gonna go on the side view here and then pull that down. Okay, that was not in my plan, to do that. Okay, let's start this over again. Let's delete this spline here. Okay, and I'm going to grab exit, just make sure. Gonna go back into 3D sketch, 3D spline. I'm gonna click on this line. I'm just gonna drop it right over there. Okay, and I want to go back into my first display state so I can see how big things should be. So I click on here and I can see it straight away. They should go back to about here, surface, maybe all the way back here. Okay, and then from here I can jump to the top, and of course I can grab that angle, and from here I'm going to add that curvature to here. Okay, I'm going to jump back. I'm going to exit the sketch and I'm going to jump back into my second display state, and we're going to create this surface from here. So let's jump into surface. Let's do a swap surface. Let's select this converted sketch and let's select the path for that. And press OK. Of course, we're gonna come back and make sure the surface is all right. As you can see, we have surface bleed over here, which we're going to fix. And then we're gonna have a look at the models. All right, so to fix that, I'm gonna come back on this line. I'm going to edit this line. And I'm gonna pull this curvature up a little bit so it gives us a little bit curvature on this surface here. Exit the sketch. All right, and we still have a little bit of bleeding over here, so we're gonna go back on this sketch. And then we're gonna pull this one up a little bit. As you can see, it updates automatically. So you can see that we bleed in like that. So we're gonna pull it to about here and still keep our curvature. And then press exit. All right, so we deleted that bleed that we had, but then we're probably pulling out this way a little bit too much. So I'm gonna pull this back a little bit to about here. Of course, we can edit that later. And I'm gonna go back and add a little bit more curvature on this line. Let's have a look. All right, so that looks a lot better now. The surface. Of course, we have a lovely bleed there, which we need to fix. And actually, let's look from the front. I want this to come out a little bit more. So let's just play with this line until we come to a surface that we like. I'm just gonna grab that point. I'm just gonna pull it towards here. and then grab back on this point to get back our curvature. Okay, exit this one. All right. And I'm just gonna pull it a bit back and bring it a bit up so we can get rid of that bleeding problem that we have here. You can pull this back as well. Okay, that's perfect. So you look here, and these two edges. There's no bleeding anymore with those two surfaces. But again, you can play with these control lines as much as possible, as much as you want. We have the curvature, which we are happy with, and then our surface is really good. Okay. All right. So now, of course, I'm going to mirror it over. So I don't usually mirror anything over to the other side until I'm 100% sure that the surface that I just created on one end, I'm happy with that one. Because if you do that and if you make any changes on one, it will update, but it could cause some issues in the future tree, of course. So you know, it's probably better to first delete the knit if you made a knit and the mirror. Okay, so let's do a knit here, and then let's knit this together with this one, and then let's knit this together with this one. Is it already done it? It's already done it for us automatically. All right. Okay, and one more thing we want to do in this tutorial is, let me see if we can grab it from this picture. All right, so far what we have is, let me make that picture a bit smaller. Okay, I'll put it over here. Let me just put this over here for a second and bring that back, the picture. Okay, cool. So what we have so far is this surface here that comes over here. So this is not this surface. This surface is this surface here. Okay, so that's what we have, and then as you can see, this angle here, it's almost straight, which is this side here. It's going almost straight, but then here it comes out a bit less of an angle. And of course we have a step here, which we will do here. So we will cut this into this surface here and create that surface, and that will recreate a surface for us, which is this step surface right over here. And once we created that surface, we can continue and then create this upper surface and continue with this. So it's a bit complex in the front here, but we will get that done. That's why I wanted to get the front one done first, because it's quite complex in the front, and everything else is just a bit easier. And of course we have a double, almost like a triple front splitter over here. So we still need to work on this small piece over here on this corner here, but that's going to be in next tutorial. But what I still want to do in this tutorial is I want to create this side flange. Is that what it's called? Flange, I think. Okay, so I want to create this surface here on this one still. Okay, so let's do that. So if I jump over to my first display state here, first display state, and have a look here what we got, and we want to create this surface here, and it actually starts this surface. It actually starts this flange area. If it's called a flange, it starts right from the edge of this surface here. Okay, so that's what we're gonna focus on. So the first thing I'm gonna do, like always, I'm gonna create a sketch on the front plane, and this is a very just a very normal surface design here. So I'm just gonna grab a spline, and because this surface comes all the way, starts all the way from here, we're gonna start it from here as well. But for now, I'm just gonna, yeah, let's start it from here, and if it's too big or too small, we can trim it back. So let's start from here. And then we're just gonna go all the way here to this point. Okay, and I'm gonna exit the sketch. Okay, and you just need to drop this line over here. That's the outside line. So as I mentioned before, this flange starts from here. Okay, so I'm gonna exit the sketch, and I'm gonna make another sketch on this the top plane. It starts from that edge right there, and then and then it ends it, so it starts from here and it ends somewhere about here. Right. Okay. So this is our sketch that we just made. Yeah, it starts right about there, from there. Okay, so this is our sketch that we just made on the side, on the, what was it? Yeah, from the front plane, right? So I want to make sure that my line goes a bit. Then I'm going to draw on the top plane. It goes further out than the front plane. Okay, so let's jump in here. Okay, so start. I could draw a construction line from this point to this point, just so that we know where it starts and where it ends. I can grab another construction line that starts from here. As you can see, I'm not snipping on the points itself, so we can use this line as a reference. Okay, so let's grab the spline, and I'm gonna grab the spline because it starts over here, even though we draw the point here. Okay, so it starts from that edge, and I want to be somewhere out here. Okay, starts from right over here. I'm gonna go up past a bit. I'm just gonna follow this edge. I'm gonna go up past here as well, just like here. And then now once I have this, oh yes, this is not straight, so I'm gonna drop our control polygon on there. I'm gonna click on those points and then make this curvature nice and straight. Not straight, but give it a little bit curvature over here. Not that many, not that much. And of course, I can put a one of these curvature combs on there as well to help me create a nice curved line here. Yeah, that should be all right. So now we can take off the curvature comb, take off the control polygon. Okay. And then press OK. And then jump into my second display state, exit the sketch. And I'm going to do a projected curve. Projected curve is going to be a sketch on sketch. So let's select this sketch and this sketch. Okay, and that gives us a sketch that we were looking for. And press OK. Okay, so we got our first sketch for that side wheel arch. That's it. That's what it's called. Wheel arch. All right. So we still have one more to do. One more curvature we need to do. And then let's jump over to our first display state. And then normal to profile. This is our first one. Looks really good. And then we just need to make the second one. Okay, and then let's just have a look at this picture. So normally both sides are actually straight. We can make it straight. Mostly with Fords, they are straight. However, I would give it a little bit angle, but I'm not going to. Let's just go straight with it. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to jump back into my feature tree here, and I want to bring back the sketch that we just made earlier. Okay. So except for the sketch right there, so I want to bring that, make that show. That was sketch 19 on my end. As long as you bring back the sketch that we made for that projected curve, should be all right. Okay, so we want to make the lower section now. So let's go to front plane and make a sketch. Okay, and then let's grab that curve, and then we're gonna start from here. Of course, we can always extend this surface. So it should be something like that. And of course, we can always trim it back if we're not happy. Okay, and then exit the sketch. Exit this sketch. It says a very nice curvature. Okay, and then just gonna jump back into our second display state. And again, just gonna do a projected curve between these two sketches. Sketch on sketch, of course. Hold on. So projected curve, this sketch, and this sketch. Okay. And now we can hide this sketch, this lower section, hide that. Okay, and we keep these two upper section. All right, and it's even give us a lovely different curvature here because we created the lower sketch. Okay. So what we can do here, instead of adding profile to that, although I could, I don't know if I should, is I'm going to go to boundary surface and select these two lines here. All right, like we can add a little bit of profile to this face, just to make it not that straight. Because if it's too much straight, when we go to the rendering, right? When we go into rendering, then it's gonna show really straight. So let's just give it a tiny bit of profile here. So let's go to 3D sketch, 3D spline, and we're just gonna go from here to here, and then I'm gonna look into that little line from here. I'm gonna click on it and then just pull it just out, just a little bit, just like that. It's gonna be almost visible, almost invisible, but when it comes to rendering, that's gonna make so much difference. And of course, we can always adjust this control line. So let's go back to the surface here, again, the boundary surface. Let's select the two line, and then for direction 2, let's select that control line. Okay, and press OK. All right, it is going to look straight once we create the rest of the body parts. Also, one more thing I want to do here, because we used a projected curve, these lines usually stays shown. So let's hide those lines so we don't have any lines that are not supposed to be there. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's go to features, mirror, and let's select front plane, bodies to mirror, of course. Drop that over to other end. All right, cool. All right, guys. So that completes tutorial 5, and then I see you back in tutorial 6, where we will be creating this rest of the body parts over here. All right, thanks so much, and stay tuned. Bye.